Thank you, Madam Speaker. Before I ask my question, I'd like to seek your leave to correct just one part of the question, which is the word regulation 2 on the second last paragraph. It should be audit, section 55 of the audit. And I rise to stand to ask question 116 of 2017, a question to the Attorney General, Minister for Economy, Public Enterprises, Civil Service and Communications. Could the Minister advise this House when is he going to table the Interim Public Accounts Committee report from 2004 to 2010, which was scrutinized and submitted to Government in accordance with Legal Notice number 48, Section 5.1 and Section 5.5 of the Audit Public Accounts Committee, Regulation 2007.
Thank you. I give the floor to the Honourable Attorney General, Minister for Economy, Public Enterprises, Civil Service and Communications.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'll respond to the question as it was asked and approve in the Business Committee. Madam Speaker, I thank the Honourable Member for this question. I also like to point out that the Honourable Member has an interest in this because he was actually a member of the Public Accounts Committee that was appointed by the Honourable Prime Minister that set reviewing these audit reports. Madam Speaker, I think it is critically important in order to be able to answer this question to provide the background information relating to this because many of the members would not be familiar with this particular regulation. Madam Speaker, following the events of 5 December 2006, in the absence of Parliament in 2007 pursuant to the Audit Public Accounts Committee Regulations 2007, which I'll refer to as 2007 regulations, the Fijian government established the Public Accounts Committee, which consisted of a chairperson and 5 other members. This is in the absence of Parliament. And of course, we still had the Constitution on foot then. The following members of the Public Accounts Committee were appointed on 13 January 2008 pursuant to the 2007 regulations. The members were, the chairperson was Mr. Manu Koravula-Vula, Ms. Lafitu Malani, who was the deputy chairperson, Ms. Tofa Vakatale, Mr. Kamlesh Arya, Mr. Janen Kumar, and Mr. Matayasi Kotambalam. From 2007 to 2012, some members of the Public Accounts Committee, such as Ms. Tofa Vakatale and Mr. Kamlesh Arya, left the Public Accounts Committee for various reasons. And during the course of this term at the Public Accounts Committee, unfortunately, Mr. Janen Kumar passed away. Given that by 2012, essentially 3 members of the original Public Accounts Committee remained, which is Chairperson, Mr. Manu Koravula-Vula, Deputy Chair, Ms. Lafitu Malani, and Mr. Matayashi Kotambalavu, an additional 3 members were appointed by His Excellency the President to the Public Accounts Committee for a 2-year term. These members were the Honourable Aseri Rondondro, Mr. Alikisio Sela, and Ms. Mary Gaulu Vakandua. Madam Speaker, the Public Accounts Committee at that time looked through the reports produced by the Office of the Auditor General for the years 2004 to 2009. The Public Accounts Committee, however, still had pending reports to look through, and these were 2 from 2000, 9 from 2001, 6 from 2002, 13 from 2003, 5 from 2004, 13 from 2010, 11 from 2012, and 2007 was 7. Total of 67. At this point, Madam Speaker, I also like to highlight, it's prudent to highlight the issues within the Public Accounts Committee itself. There were 2 internal audits which were carried out in respect to the Public Accounts Committee itself by the internal audit team of the then Ministry of Finance, which is now Ministry of Economy. These audits were done in 2013 and 2014 respectively. What were the audit findings? 1. Overpayment of sitting allowance by $8,550. Members were being paid for the hours they did not work, and there were inconsistencies in relation to the signing of the daily register attendance. What the audit report found, which I have over here with me, that, this is the reports here, that some of the members of the Public Accounts Committee used to come in, sign in the morning and then take off, and then come back in the afternoon and then collect. Number 2, accountable advances not returned within 7 days as required by the Financial Instructions 2010. C, catering tenders not being called, and the catering company used by the Public Accounts Committee since 2010 was owned by a Public Accounts Committee member operating in his wife's name. And D, no written approval was sought to confirm the increase in catering rates from $30 to $50 from the caterers during the period of 2012-2013. Madam Speaker, Given the gross mismanagement of funds by Public Accounts Committee itself at that time, Public Accounts Committee appointments were subsequently terminated in 2014. Honourable Rondon was part of that termination, with immediate effect pursuant to Clause 8 of the 2007 regulations. For the sake of clarity, Madam Speaker, 2007 regulations Clause 8 subsection 2 state that the President may remove a member of the committee for misconduct or misbehaviour or any other good reason that may warrant the member's removal. Madam Speaker, it is also decided that because Parliament would be in place in a few months' time, because at that time the 2013 Constitution was in place, and anybody who read it would know that particular provisions kick in, audit reports from the Office of the Auditor General would be given to the new Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee for further deliberations. Given that this question is being put to Parliament of the Honourable Member, who was also part of the Public Accounts Committee, you would indeed know that pursuant to Clause 11 of the 2011 regulations, the regulations have indeed expired on the date the next elected Prime Minister is appointed. That's what the Constitution's provision is, what the provision says in the law itself. Madam Speaker, what's the current situation? Since the inception of Parliament in 2014, all the reports of the Office of the Auditor General from 2007-2013 have been subsequently tabled before Parliament. The Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee has looked at these reports from the Office of the Auditor General 2007-2013 afresh and tabled its own respective reports. Indeed, Honourable Biman Prasad, who was the chair of the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee, tabled his report titled No More Repeats on the 2007 and 2009 Auditor General reports. Subsequently, in 2016, the Honourable Sudhakar, as chair of the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee, also tabled his report on the 2009 and 2013 Auditor General reports. So, Madam Speaker, the only reports that have not been tabled are those Auditor General reports from the years 2000 and 2006. These are the reports that neither the former PAC nor the current Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee have considered. These will be tabled as soon as possible and sent to the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee for review accordingly. I'm sure the Honourable Leader of Opposition would be interested in the Auditor General's report from 2000 and 2006. So, Madam Speaker, that is the background to this. And this is what is being done and this is what has happened. Thank you.
Supplementary question, Madam Speaker. I note the background by the Honourable Minister. The question is, when will the interim Public Accounts Committee report be tabled in Parliament according to the regulation? He hasn't answered that question.
Madam Speaker, they need to get legal advice. The regulations don't exist anymore.
Honourable Senator Karwaki.
Supplementary question, Madam Speaker. The Honourable Minister had referred to Regulation 11. Yes, truly, that the regulation fixes on the date of the appointment of the new Prime Minister. So as, Madam Speaker, the membership, why is it that all members were terminated well before that in March 2014, when the regulation says that the termination of the member's appointment will fall on the date the Prime Minister is sworn in? Why? They were terminated earlier and even not replaced, and their membership should cease on the date that the Prime Minister is appointed. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, the appointments were terminated in 2014. There's only a few months gap. Now, I've just read out the amount of abuse that was taking place. Do you think a Public Accounts Committee, which had a report carried out by an independent group of civil servants that pointed out all these anomalies in the manner in which the Public Accounts Committee itself conducted itself, would be credible enough to carry out, an independent, credible investigation or assessment of the Public Accounts Committee reports or Auditor General's reports with integrity, given the fact, Madam Speaker, that the new incoming Parliament was about to be formed in only a few months' time, given the fact, Madam Speaker, that Honourable Prasad himself, when he was chairman, has dealt with the 2007-2009 reports that were also looked at by the former Public Accounts Committee that are set under regulations? This is a redundant question.
Thank you. Honorable Nawakula.
We don't want to hear Honorable Biman Prasad or Honorable Sudhakar. We want to see the Interim Public Accounts Committee. It contains very important issues, including payment of salaries to the Honorable Prime Minister. When can you assure us you will table this? Please. With the corrections or with the mistakes, just table.
Madam Speaker, Honorable Nawakula always is quite fascinating. Madam Speaker, Honorable Nawakula does not seem to understand, nor does he seem to hear what has just been said. Madam Speaker, the Honorable Prasad, in his report as chairman, and I will use his name because he was the chairman, and I will use Honorable Sudhakar's name because he was the chairman, and he still is the chairman, and will continue to be the chairman. Madam Speaker, the fact of the matter is whether the Auditor General's report is being assessed by the Parliamentary Accounts Committee or not. Are they somehow the other saying that Honorable Prasad's report lacks the level of credibility that apparently the former Public Accounts Committee had? That's what he's implying. He's implying that somehow the other, that Honorable Prasad's report, somehow the other is substandard to what the former committee headed by the Honorable Randrondo, or not headed by, which he was in. Basically, that's what they're implying. Madam Speaker, the reality is this, that the Auditor General's report forms the basis of any assessment by any parliamentary committee. What they should be asking for, Madam Speaker, which they are not asking for, is why aren't the Auditor General's report from 2000 and 2006 have not been presented, have not been assessed. They're not asking for that. They're only interested in post-2007, which has already been assessed, part of it by Honorable Biman Prasad as chairman, and Honorable Sudhakar when he is still the chairman. They're not asking about 2000 and 2006 because they know there are numerous worms there. They seem to only be concentrating on this when it's already been assessed by this committee. That, Madam Speaker, there are many. I'll show you the worms. Madam Speaker, read the Auditor General's report and you'll find the worms.
Thank you. Honorable Ratanamogu.
Question, Madam Speaker.
Question.
Just a short question to the Honourable Minister. Is there anything sinister in those reports that you don't want to present in Parliament? Thank you.
Honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I think that to answer that will be giving credibility to that kind of question.
Thank you. Honourable Rocky Liraki.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My simple supplementary question is whether the report is going to be, as the regulation says, that should be tabled in the next available meeting of Parliament, even though it has expired, but according to regulation, whether they are going to table it in the next Parliament. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, the question is very incoherent. I'll attempt to answer that. I've just answered the question. And the question is that the regulations no longer exist. The practical issue is that the Auditor General's report can be reviewed by a Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee. And those reports, Madam Speaker, by the Auditor General is subject to the review and purview of the Public Accounts Committee, and they can give their report on those Auditor General's reports. It's very simple.